In this video, I'll show you how to add more requests to the existing test plan. We have a test plan is already getting contact list. Next is adding a new contact, post request with header and body data. Then get request, basically to verify whether the request is created, and you pass the ID along with the URL. Then update the contact information. It's a put request. You have HTTP method put along with the ID in the URL. Header information has got content type and application JSON, and body data in JSON format. Finally, you have delete contact. In the delete contact, you send the delete method. Request will have the ID to delete the newly created contact. Let's start JMeter. I have already started, and previous test plan is loaded. Let's do some refactoring before going further. I know that this IP address and port number will be used by subsequent request, so it is not a good practice to keep them here. So let's keep them in the common place. Add config element, user defined variables. You have host. I define the variable name in all caps and the IP address and port 3000. You could define the protocol as well. I will leave it for you. Then add new config element, HTTP request default. This will contain all the common parameters for your HTTP request. I define the server name or the IP and port. So this information or other variable values will be picked from the user defined variables. You could define them at the test plan level as well, so it's up to you to decide. So you can get rid of them or remove these values, and still it should work. Control E to clean, Control R to run, and you can see that you are getting the responses. So let's add the new request. For adding a new contact detail, so I'll get a duplicate of this. Control C and Control V could be used. In addition to that, there's an option here from the menu, select duplicate. It's more easier. Add the contact on the full name and of course contacts, but the method should be post this time, and you select the body data and copy and paste. You could customize a little bit. I'm hard coding this time. In the next video, I'll show you how to read the data from CSV file and make this test plan data driven. One final thing, you have to add the header manager to include the headers. You could keep this as a child since it is going to be used by many requests. I'll keep it as a common component, and let me copy and paste the values instead of typing. So it's a good practice. Sometimes beginners may add leading and trailing spaces and make issues, we will get an errors at the end of the session. So it's pretty much done. New contacts, Control S, Control E to clean, Control R to run. So let's see the response data, and you can see a new ID is created with the information. All the information is hard-coded at the moment. In this video, our objective is to send the request, so rest will be covered in following videos. Next is to check whether this new contact is created. So I need some more information. I need to extract the ID. So in the JSON, let me JSON path tester, and the ID is here. So let me dot underscore ID JSON path, and you can pick the ID. So let me add the post processor to extract the value, the contact ID. Let me give a naming. As I mentioned in the previous video, I'll keep the existing name and give this contact ID. Copy this and use this as the variable name. Also the default value. This will be picked when there is no value associated with the JSON path, underscore ID. If there are multiple values, you can set the value to 1 or 2, whatever the number available for the interested number. In this case, you have just one ID, so I'll put just one. And this could be used in your subsequent request. This ID can be used. So let me add a sampler, debug sampler, to view the JMeter variables. You can use this. You can use for JMeter properties, system properties, but right now I'm interested with JMeter property, other JMeter variables. Let me run Control S to save, Control E to clean the test results, Control R to run. So if you go here, you can see the ID is there. So this ID can be used in subsequent request. Let me disable this, Control T to disable it. You can see here enable, disable and toggle. And next one, I need to get a duplicate of this. Control Shift C of course could be used. And here I have get request, body, you will not have anything. And here you have $sign contact ID, so you need to pass the ID. Get the Control S, so you can see get the contact and the ID. So let me run and see. Control S to save, Control E to clean everything, Control R to run. Get the contact, and you can get the information by sending the request. So next is to update the contact. Insert duplicate, update the contact. So body data, I will take this data inside the body tag. I'll put the in the next video. I'll show you how to verify the content using assertions, but this time I have just hard-coded and verified the responses manually. Now it's done. In case of update, we use the method put. The content type header will be picked automatically from the header manager. Update the context, save it, Ctrl S. So let's see, Ctrl S, Ctrl E, Ctrl R. Update the contact, and if you go to response, you can check the response information manually. Response headers 204. Now if you want to check the information again, it is not available in the response, you need to send a new request. So you get a duplicate of this and reset it after updating the request. So this time you get the information, or send a request to the service and get the new details of this contact. Ctrl S, Ctrl E, Ctrl R to run. And here you have to get, of course, the body information will not be there. Let me check the error reason. Content type. Contact ID not found. Because contact ID is not picked, the reason is it is getting deleted from this one. So you need to remove this here, and you don't have to get it again here. It is assigned to a back value. So let's run and see again. Control, Control, Control. Now it is done. If you get the response data and JSON information, and you can see the information is updated. Finally, you need to delete it. Control Shift C. Delete it. Delete the contact and select the method delete. Save it. Control E, Control R. And you can go to response headers and you can see that 204 and the new contact is successfully deleted. In the next video, I'll show you how to improve this further by adding assertions and saving the test results into file. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something.